Aloha!
Aloha!
My name is Krista Ralaxmi-Detten.
And I'm Michael Ditton.
And we are Infinite.
Activation.
Coming to you from
Southern California.
San Diego.
That we are.
Yeah. And today is a very special day because we are going to talk about our next anniversary.
When's that?
Actually, tomorrow.
Oh!
Yeah.
It's a good thing you reminded me.
Yeah. Lucky me. 11th of August 2017 was the day when we had a very special day in Hawaii, and because this happened very fast, we didn't have much of our family there or friends there. We only had a couple of people, and it was still very special.
Very special.
Do you remember anything of that day still?
Well, I mean, it was a beautiful location, beautiful ceremony, beautiful bride, white sandy beaches,
Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wedding in Hawaii on the beach with an officiant and photographer as our witness and photographer. And yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful day.
And we organized it so that it started pretty early in the morning, so we had really nice sunshine, because in Hawaii so often in the afternoon it gets a little foggy and cloudy, so we could get some nice pictures as well.
Yep.
And we said and shared our vows in Honaunau Park, which is a very special park where there is lots of energy, lots of aloha. It's a healing place, and it will always remain this very special place for us.
Yep, that it will.
Yeah. And I remember our officiant was going through the whole ceremony, and there was this moment where he said, like, you know, please close your eyes and listen to the wind and feel the wind blowing and be completely present here and now. And I was really in that moment, like, wow, I'm actually here and with my king.
Yeah.
Yay. And then we had a funny moment. The favorite picture you have.
The one of you?
Yeah. What happened there?
Well, Crystal got to sign her new last name, which is her last name hyphenated my last name, and she hadn't practiced, so it was quite awkward for her to sign on literally the dotted line, because we had to sign the certificate right there in the present. So she was laughing and giggling because she was struggling to do it, and that picture got captured, and it was the screensaver on my other phone. It's not on my current phone, but I definitely want to get it over there because it's one of my most favorite pictures. Yeah,
we'll put that in the end of the video segment here so people can see.
Yeah.
And then we had actually another location where we went to do pictures in that area, which is also very special for me and for us, which is also very powerful Hawaiian traditional place where there are lots of connections to Lono, the god Lono. And Lono has been a very interesting god who is connected to fertility and also rain. So we have been very connected to Lono also last year when we were traveling. At times we were actually doing some dances and prayers for Lono because of the rain where we were or what we were doing. So it was always working.
Yeah, and actually part of the spot that we were at was one of the original birthing spots.
For Hawaiian families.
Yeah, and it was a little cove or alcove, kind of a, I wouldn't call it a pool. It wasn't like tide pools or anything else. It was just a little shallow area.
And we had a really special photographer, Malle, who's actually Estonian, who we found through Facebook, through just me shouting out like who knows good photographers, and some common friend we have connected me to her. And then we had an Estonian photographer in Hawaii.
Yep.
What are the odds?
Yep.
So Malla did really beautiful photos. So we had beautiful memories and things we could put together also for our families.
And has become a friend since then.
Yeah. And then...
And because of them.
Yeah. And then after that, we, because we at the time lived in Hawaii, we actually had like a holiday away.
Well,
like
it was a staycation, and it had to be our honeymoon could only be one night because I actually had to go to work the next morning.
Yeah.
So we stayed at the local Sheraton on the Point in a beautiful bay, and we actually invited Male to come join us for an afternoon celebration before we officially checked into the hotel for our evening getaway. So.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a beautiful location.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful hotel, lots of pools, and we had a nice dinner, and could really initiate this new chapter in our lives. And when I think back, I was like, okay, so when was it Michael actually proposed? Some people have asked. We had that moment actually in Alaska.
We discussed it in Alaska.
Yeah, and then I actually said no. At that moment I wasn't ready yet. So it's not very often that, I would even think or do something like that. But at that point I was really sure that that's maybe not the time yet. So, and that's the thing also, so many people, they just jump into it like without thinking. So I'm really glad that we took the time.
Yes. But that proposal, just to make everybody familiar, it wasn't as if we were going to get married right then.
Yeah.
But it was the beginning of the discussion for what was to come.
Yeah, so a little different.
Yeah.
And as you have probably listened to some of or watched our videos, you know a little more of the details of how we have redefined our relationship, and then how we are connected. We have the 5 pages contract with each other. We are building it in a different way, and we are experimenting with different things. So we also encourage everyone to do that. And I am very, very glad because we know each other now over 5.5 years, and in my history it's turning into to be the longest relation I've ever had with a man. And that's like a huge cornerstone for me, or turning point. So I really take this as one of the new accomplishments, in addition to everything else that I have managed to now co-create with you, this beautiful relation. And it's sustainable, and it's growing and going deeper and wider every day.
Absolutely. Yep.
So.
Nope. But and the fun is yet begun.
Yeah, very cool.
Many adventures behind, many adventures ahead.
Yeah. So in short, when we also look back, I could say number one thing what I have experienced with Michael has been that I could really be me, and also that you were there to love, take care, and also be kind, but also be there to grow with me and also expand with me in every possible way, and also co-create with me. And this is something which I really looked for and could never find. And I want us and our story to be a nice hope and nice inspiration and motivation to each one of you. Don't allow your bar go lower than it actually is, and you deserve the best, and that person is out there. So just keep working on yourself, and when the time is right, the divine timing will make it happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what about you? What has been some of the key elements for you?
As far as our relationship goes, well, I mean, you've said a lot of it with the co-creation and, a partner, love, support, co-creating together. We both believe in serving and serving others, and that's part of our life mission. Our purposes may be in line or may be different, but our life mission is definitely in line. Through the co-creation, we have grown stronger personally and professionally. It's it's a growth process that is it's inspiring for me, and it's inspiring for me that we're able to inspire others as well. And we've, in the short time that we've known each other, which has only been 5 years, when we reflect back on the things that we've gone through, overcome, achieved, done, adventures, I mean, it seems like a lifetime, and it really is just the beginning. And I know sometimes we want things to happen faster, especially when it comes to the growth and expansion of the things that we're trying to accomplish. But realistically, where we were 5 years ago and where we are today is a huge accomplishment, and something that we should be honored and proud of.
And acknowledge too.
Yeah, and acknowledge ourselves and reward ourselves for the things that we've done. We started off with challenges. You had yours, I had mine, we had ours. But it was also those challenges that brought us together, because without those challenges, we wouldn't have met. Yeah. I wouldn't have been where I was at, you wouldn't have been where you were at, and we wouldn't have been there to support each other. So, and also because of the things that we've both learned in our previous lives, and with those challenges, we knew what we wanted, and we knew what we didn't want. We sat down, we discussed it. We did put a 5-page contract together, and basically defined our communication, our means of communication, the things that we do and don't, which we review and update on a regular basis, and it is also in the form of expansion. And it's there's never any doubt the things that we talk about, because we have it there. I'm excited to go through the next phases and chapters and adventures with you, and very excited.
Yeah, me too. And one of the two key things which I would bring out, especially here, one is courage, and the other one is following the inner guidance. Mm-hmm. Because when you were in that difficult situation when we met in 2014, then you followed your inner guidance, which was saying you have to get out of here, you have to go to Mexico and process. Mm-hmm. And you didn't know why or what, so you just went there, your boat was there, and then you just followed it. And I was in a process, I was pushed back into that same village, and the same thing. I took the courage to face my fears and do the things which were happening, and followed my inner guidance to get back to the new beginning. So. Mm-hmm. So these are so core and elements which so oftentimes people don't think they are important enough or focus much on those, but they can really change your life. And one other thing which I think we have gone through so many times within, as you said, it feels like a lifetime. We have traveled a lot, we have had many challenges, we have gone through it all together. And the number one thing, I think, or the theme helping us through this has been to welcome change mm-hmm. as a constant thing and not resist it. Right.
Yeah, and we're both sailors, and we use tacking in our terminology quite a bit, because if you have a destination, and you're working towards that destination and things aren't going right, or you're in the storm, you can continue to power through the storm to get to that destination. But we've learned over time that sometimes we're supposed to tack off, and when you do, you can normally tack and then tack again and get there in better time. But the biggest thing is that you start a new journey, and when you start that new journey, it may be a journey that is needed, wanted, better than the one that you're experiencing, or part of the one that you were experiencing, and ultimately either end up where you were supposed to be, where you thought you were supposed to be, or end up where you really were supposed to be, which could be different. So, we adjust. We adjust on a regular basis. I've taught it for years and years and years with goal setting. Nothing is set in stone. You adjust, you enjoy the ride, and you keep heading for that destination. And if the destination changes, that's okay. We've gone through it many a times, and ultimately the underlying goal or dream or whatever it is you're after is still going to either be achieved in the entirety in which you think, or a new, better one is going to be achieved because that's what's supposed to happen.
And in all of this, I think what has been also one main key for us is that we have really defined and got clarity what kind of relation we want and on what terms. And as you get clarity on that, then you can also start to create that, because so many people don't have no clue and just float around like a boat going where the wind is blowing. And
it's not just the relationships between you and I, it's also the relationships we have with others. We're going to share a couple of letters that people have been kind enough to write, and the reason they wrote them is because Crystal and I are going through the second phase of the immigration process. Her 2-year green card is coming up for expiration, and within 90 days of that, we have to apply and go into the next phase of it. It's called releasing the conditions. So we're going through that, and in support of us doing that, some of our friends and family wrote letters to us, and we have a couple of them that we're going to share that really touched our heart. And these are the type of people that we surround ourselves with. And so it's not just the relationship that we have, but the relationships that we have with others, and we're blessed to have those relationships with people around the world, and we'll hope to continue to get more of those in a bigger ohana meaning family, and to continue to expand, as we said, as we grow together individually, together, and as a couple and in business.
And one of our goals is also to really turn into these role models, not only in relationships, but also in business and life. So we are checking in with each other and also individually, like, is that what I'm doing worth sharing? Would a role model do something like that? And it's such a good moment of self-check-in. So even if you're gonna slip back into some old ways of behaving or doing something, you really kind of control yourself a little more.
Yeah, and the purpose for checking in and seeing if we have something to share is not from an ego standpoint. For example, when I wrote Dreams, Goals, and Adventure, when I wrote that in hopes to inspire people to never lose sight of their dreams. Everything that we do with that type of intention, is to not only make our lives better, but so that we can inspire other people to make their lives better, and hopefully provide some tools and guidance, or some things that we've learned that are things that we learn the hard way that we hope others don't, or things that we learn that work and are successful that we can share with other people so that they don't have to go through some of the same pains and struggles. So we're basically fact-checking life, and we're sharing with people the things that work, the things that don't work, and we're living life. We truly believe in preaching what we teach and teach what we preach. Because we believe in the relationships, we believe in the service, we believe in adventure, we believe in dreams and goals, we believe in all these things. And, we want people to have faith and belief in the things that they believe is true to their heart. And we ultimately want the best for them.
Mm-hmm. And I remember first time when I started to understand and also look up to, who are the people I can look up to, or role models for my relationships, as I would like to have them, is this beautiful couple who I met in Hawaii, and we have actually a beautiful letter from them. Michael will also share. But I saw the love they were sharing and the way they were present, and how much aloha there was, how they were communicating. And I said, I want that. I desire that in my life. And when I found you, Michael, then I was like, wow, I'm home. I found it.
Yep.
And the first thing was to ask to get clarity that this is what I deserve and this is what I desire, and then keep your eyes open. And then the rest of the time I worked on myself so hard to become a better woman, to become more of that queen I wanted to be, for a man next to me to treat me as a queen.
She is a queen, and she truly deserves to be treated as so.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And the queen can only emerge when the king is present. So
yeah, and to be a queen doesn't mean, you know, somebody of authority that pushes people around, or a dictator or anything like that.
Conscious queen.
Yeah, a conscious
mature.
queen is somebody that is mature, that is there for others, has ultimately taken the best care of herself, so that she can be at her fullest and brightest in order to serve other people.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the letter from
Well,
Hawaii family?
this wonderful couple are dear friends of ours, and we were very, very pleased and honored to have them write on behalf of Crystal and I for this immigration. And they wrote, we first met Crystal in 2010 when she rented a vacation home from us in Hawaii. We got to know her well as she returned to Hawaii a number of times over the next few years. Crystal's father had passed away in Estonia in the spring of 2011, and she stayed with us for a few weeks after that, as this was an emotional period for her. In the years that followed, she often helped us out by caring for our home and pets when we were away. We came to refer to her as our adopted daughter, and her warmth and helpful attitude made her a joy to be around. In 2016, Crystal introduced us to Michael Ditton. We were immediately impressed by this sincerity, intelligence, and obvious good character. Crystal and Michael were clearly well suited to each other. We were delighted when they were married in August 2017. Over the years, they had become even more devoted to one another. They share common beliefs and aspirations. They work well together to help others tap their potential and reach their goals. We believe that Crystal is a great asset for the country, as she embodies many of our ideas, such as hard work, responsibility, and caring for others.
Very sweet.
Yep.
These are kind of letters which you read and you have tears in your eyes because it's so sweet, so grateful. And here we have another one which is from our hula kumu from Hawaii, and also very, very sweet. So I will read this one. So I first met Crystal in November of 2018 at this quaint pedant breakfast called the Mermaid House, where I was holding weekly classes for hula, Hawaiian culture and language. At our first meeting, I offered her a Hawaiian name, Wailani, to connect Crystal not only to this class but also to the islands as well. Moved by the classes and inspired by the fact that hula was also done predominantly by men, at one time she asked if Michael, her husband, could join. I, of course, invited her husband to come and take part. Through our time together, we grew from a teacher-student bond to a friendship. Not only did we have great gatherings like our 2018 Christmas party, but we also enjoyed performing for my niece's birthday party on April 13, 2019, followed by our amazing day in Hilo at the Merry Monarch Fula Festival. Getting there early to grab a spot in line, touring the stadium, and taking turns to go to the craft fair. And then watching the festival dancers till midnight that evening. It was a blast for all 10 of us. I have also witnessed a relationship between Michael and Crystal that I have only seen a few times in my lifetime. In this day and age, it is rare to see such communication, respect, and just the amazing lifting of one another. Usually it is one-sided, but in this case, the word to describe what I have experienced in this couple is balance. Their love for our community in Kona and respect to our Hawaiian culture is inspirational, and I also have seen their passion for many movement and issues for our island resources and protection of a way of life. Hawaii misses them. Me ke aloha pau ole, with endless love. Very sweet. Thank you. And to end up, we have this little notebook from Estonia after one of the beautiful gatherings we did, and Michael will read one in English and then I will read one in Estonian.
Aloha, Crystal and Michael. It's so wonderful to see you and hug you. I'm so happy to see your blessing in your beautiful In Writing in the Stars story. Wishing you blessings on your path, lots of aloha and magic.
Yeah, thank you. And then we have one more here. Dear Crystal, Ra and Michael, I am very grateful to you that you are doing what you are doing. You are such amazing role models and inspiration for me. Me and my life, we are much better healed, much richer, and also there is much more value because of that. It's just so yummy. Thank you so much for everything. Aloha. So with this, we'll summarize the audio sharing part and visual, of course, and we will put a little collection of some pictures from our journey till this point, so you can come along. So this video will be altogether a little longer, but it's definitely worth it. And if you are out there and still looking for your queen or king, know that he or she is out there, and the only responsibility you have is to work with yourself so that you will be ready to be the king or queen you are, to receive that beautiful being into your life.
And if there's anything we can do to support you, please let us know.
Yeah, we do it with pleasure and with a lot of aloha.
Yeah.
So all the best and enjoy till the next time. Please, as always, like, share and subscribe.
Yeah.
Mahalo.